Sego Zewagwego de Hostirihas Deer here once again to help provide another political update. So to kick things off, on April 2nd, we announced that the Radizahayas had met with Minister of Indigenous Services Mandy Galmasti. And this has been something that has been months in the process and development. We have obviously spoken with her through emails or through other online forms of communication, but it's rarely in person, and for her to come to Kahnawake was significant. One of the items that we had discussed was the ATR process, the additions to reserve, which is about 162 acres, which will be spanning across St. Remy and St. Isidore. And this is something that has caught my attention early on when I first heard about it. And I know a variety of people in the community are also excited to learn more, which will be discussed in around May. Now look out for future communications on our social medias in regards to that. The next item too I wanted to discuss happened during the week of April 9th, where Nidzahayas, Ross Montour, and Cody Daibo had an opportunity to speak and meet in person with Prime Minister Mark Carney. It has been evident that we have had discussions with him through letters and other forms of communication, but never in person. And as recently, Cody Daibo had discussed that, although it was brief, they established Kahnawake's positions on a variety of different items, and essentially that Kahnawake needs to have a seat at the table in these conversations, specifically with the Major Projects Office. And in regards to any projects going through the territory, Kahnawake needs to be consulted. Ross Montour had the opportunity to speak with the Minister of Transport, Steve McKinnon, who also relayed the same information, and as well as Kahnawake's long-standing role on the Seaway. Now, I have been a journalist in the past, and I've heard from a variety of different community members throughout the years on concerns environmentally and economically in regards to the Seaway. And Ross Montour also did explain that though it was brief, the message was clear that further discussions need to happen. And in the next coming weeks, as early as May, there is an in-person verbal commitment to meet in person with Mark Carney. And when that meeting does happen, I will look forward to explaining that more in detail. Now, on to the third and final topic, my personal favorite, as I had mentioned, is MCK pursues next steps on tolls feasibility project. Now, back in summer of 2025, I had initially reported on this too when I was outside of the community. And this is pretty clear in understanding that a majority of people here are for this and want to learn more. As I mentioned, I myself am curious to understand what the position will be, what it would look like, some of the feasibility. And though this is still early on, this will be a great stepping stone on the overall process. Now, just to read a little bit of an excerpt, the MCK had secured global industry-leading firm Arcadis to consult and conduct the tolling feasibility study. Now, just for reference, Arcadis is involved in over 70 countries across the globe and recently has worked on the tolling system for the Gordie Howe International Bridge. And this plan, which has been discussed by both Chiefs Jeremiah Johnson and Paul Rice, will see around a time frame of 6 months. So around the end of summer to into the fall time, we can anticipate more movement on this project and really understanding what exactly is the feasibility for all of this highly anticipated project. Part of my position too as well is to view and hear from the community, whether it's in person or on social media. And this is something that has been discussed at a variety of community meetings, even when it is not on the agenda, and as well just in general discourse. So this is something that the MCK takes very seriously and are understanding what the community wants and what is possible in pursuing this, which has been in discussion for decades, well before I was even born. So with that all said, I really do look forward in learning more. Once some of those updates do come to my table, I will be more than happy to help provide more details along with Paul Rice and Jeremiah Johnson, and as well as other chiefs at the table. So with that said, Nyamagoa, and I look forward to speaking with every single one of you in the next video.